Mexico School for the Deaf. Dr. Herbold holds a notable distinction of being the 10th and the first deaf woman to lead the school in its 140th year history. Born in Silver Springs, Maryland, Dr. Herbold was immersed in the deaf community from an early age. Growing up near Gallaudet University, she earned her bachelor's degree in English and secondary education, as well as her master's in deaf education, and later completed her PhD in language, reading, and culture at the University of Arizona. She began her career at the New Mexico School of the Deaf in 1999 as a middle school English teacher. Over the years, she has served in various roles, including literacy specialist, assistant principal, director of instruction, before being appointed superintendent. Under her leadership, New Mexico School for the Deaf continues to provide comprehensive educational services to deaf and hard of hearing students across New Mexico, from infancy through high school. The school emphasizes a bilingual approach, fostering proficiency in both American Sign Language and English. Please welcome Dr.
We'll let the interpreters figure out their positions. Great. Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Jennifer Herbold. It's an honor to be here with you all today. Sometimes it can be difficult to figure out what the group wants to hear, what kind of presentation I should make. So I just want to give you a very broad overview. I'm not sure what kind of experience you may have with the deaf community. If you've met a deaf person, some people think a deaf person are they disabled? How do I interact with them? How do I speak to them? Technically, if you just cover your ears, you're deaf. You're not accessing any sound, right? There's no change to your personality, to your brain, to anything else except your hearing. Technology now with cochlear implants, hearing aids, they've come a long way. Some folks don't use any type of amplification, much like myself. I don't use anything. I use American Sign Language, but there's deaf folks who use spoken language, who use both. It's quite the variety, quite the diverse group. And I think you can imagine similar to people who are blind as well. They have a variety. It's kind of on a spectrum, right, in terms of when you think of vision loss as well. So as my intro said, I grew up in the DC area. When I moved here to New Mexico, I thought I could be here a couple of years, but now 26 years later, here I am still in New Mexico. And before we hit play, just give me 1 second. There's a video. You will see maybe 3 primary signs in that video. You'll see welcome. You also see hello, like this. And then Roadrunner. That's our mascot. We're the Roadrunners. So we made this video a long time ago. Just 2 years ago. It's a long time ago, but it's just a nice welcome, and it says welcome, hello, go Roadrunners. We'll go ahead and see. There you go.
Did he speed it up? No, how fast they told me.
We had to speed it up. I wouldn't make you sit through all of those welcomes and go Roadrunners. But as you can see, our students are diverse, just like any other school, just like any other public school. Our staff are equally as diverse, and you can see that most of our staff are a mixture of deaf and hearing individuals. Fun fact, we're actually the first public school in New Mexico. I'm not sure if you know that. We have 140 years of history at the School for the Deaf there. We actually are a constitutional school. We were founded in 1885. Now, we serve hard of hearing students all over the state, not just in the Santa Fe area. We serve about 700 students. This is a very specific number, but we have around 700 students. This is the figure from last year. We serve babies who are born and identified as deaf or hard of hearing, all the way up to 22 years old. And we have some three main different programs at the School for the Deaf, and I'll explain a little bit about that in this next slide. So we have our early intervention department that does a lot of home-based services. So we serve families all over the state of New Mexico, in the reservations, in southern, the border areas, the Four Corners area, all over New Mexico. We also have our statewide educational outreach program that helps school districts where sometimes students don't hear speak here in Santa Fe, or in Santa Fe, and we send staff to go support them in their local school districts. Maybe local school districts don't know how to best support deaf students in their classrooms. We can provide consultants to help them in the classroom, help any of the service providers there. And then the last part is our actual campus-based instruction. So we have a school in Santa Fe. We also have preschools in Albuquerque as well as Lubbock. (90% to 95% of deaf children are born to parents with normal hearing. So often when parents have a deaf child, they don't know what to do. So we try to be there for those moments from day one. We contract with the Department of Health, and the reason for that is we want to be able to provide families with the support that they need to be there immediately. And it doesn't mean that parents have to sign. Some parents choose to do a more oral approach and use spoken language, and that's absolutely fine. We really value our parents and all the parents that we serve. Our early intervention services are served for students up to age 6. I have one video here. This small video. The question was, do you want a drink? He said yes. He said they wanted a drink. And I think I missed the part where it said drink, and he wanted to drink coffee. So it's odd, because mom's coffee, and mom said, no, you can't have my coffee, and that's why he got sad. You can see that off screen, but the message here is early language is key for a deaf and hard of hearing individual. And it doesn't matter what language it is, just language is essential at this age, because the trajectory can be significantly different for students when they don't have access to early language acquisition.
Let's talk about American Sign Language. Do other languages have their own signing, like French and Russian?
Yes, LSQ, for example, it's actually in French. I feel sorry for the interpreter, but it's basically French sign language. Yes, the initials are from the way that it's spelled and the way that it's said in French. So, interestingly enough, American Sign Language is more similar to French Sign Language than it is to British Sign Language. And the reason for that is the founder of the language was originally from France, and so there's a strong French influence. So we actually have a harder time understanding folks who use British Sign Language as opposed to French Sign Language. So yes, there are sign languages all over the world.
It's the British accent.
I was gonna say, it's the accent.
And they actually fingerspell with 2 hands. So we fingerspell with 1 hand, and they use 2 hands to represent the letters of the alphabet. And so if I met a person from England, I'm like, well, I'll just fingerspell with them to see if I can understand, and that's not the case. In those moments, we can just write back and forth in English, but sometimes I can sign. I understand enough to have a conversation with them. So we've actually set up several diagnostic centers all over the state of New Mexico, especially in rural areas of New Mexico. Families And many families can't make their way all the way to these testing centers due to a variety of reasons. Often it's financial. And so being able to set up these remote locations all over the state really helps families to be able to take their children and be screened at a very, very early age. We identify or we screen at least 19,000 different children through these satellite programs. We also have our school-based programs, just like any public school. We serve all as young as 18 months. We started 18 months just for that early language acquisition, all the way up to 22 years of age. We also provide speech and language, speech and language services. So our SLPs support them in ASL as well as many of our kids are learning spoken language as well, so they also get SLP services to focus on this. We also have a variety of student support services. We have OT, PT, we have social workers, we have counseling. Several students that came up and talked about social media. We face the same thing, the same challenges. Our students love social media as well, and we just banned the phones at our school, which is an unpopular decision at our school, but I think, before, prior to this phone ban, they would sit in the cafeteria looking at their phones. And now they're actually engaging in conversation with each other. Quite the difference. Now, our educational outreach, so we go to different school districts across the state. I explained this a little bit earlier. We also have ASL classes. Many folks ask, how can I learn ASL? How can I learn sign language? And so we do offer ASL classes. There's information on our website. Feel free to sign up if you're interested. Many folks want to learn. We have classes in Santa Fe as well as in Albuquerque. And offer classes virtually as well. We provide these classes free to our families, of course, and then to community members as a small team. So we have international studies programs, just like many schools across the world. We started this in 2009, and it's actually, because of the Olympics, we have what's called the Paralympics or the Deaf Olympics. The Deaf Olympics are a huge event in the deaf community, and I used to be assistant to the president of the Deaf Olympics, and so I have a passion for just international cultures and studies, and so we formed this club, and our students have been traveling all over the world since the founding of this club. Last year, or just this year actually, our students went to Japan, and so we alternate, we go to different countries. It's a really fun club. NMSD also just won, this was back in March, we were the state champions for middle school robotics. We went to the international competition in Dallas, Texas, and we went to Dallas to compete, and we were 68th place there. But that's out of 16,000 teams. So, not bad, right? It wasn't not bad. The top 10 teams, I think, that won were from China. And there were a variety of different representations, a lot of different teams there. Our kids got to meet this is actually my own daughter on the team, right here. She's on the robotics team, and it was a wonderful experience for her. She loved it. She really enjoyed getting to interact and meet folks from all over the world. This was just a couple of weeks ago that they had this competition. We're also part of an organization, a competition called Battle of the Books. So we compete locally at the state level as well as regionally and nationally. We have a great athletics program as well. We have a lot of athletes. We do academic bowl. Our cheerleading team, I want to say in the last couple of years, have placed first at nationals in the national cheer competition. This year we didn't, unfortunately. We didn't even place because our cheerleaders had glitter in their hair, and we overlooked a rule that there was a penalty for glitter in your hair, and we were so bummed. Yes, but we'll be back next year. We'll get the trophy and make sure to bring it back home in the next. have a residential program. Because not all of our students live in Santa Fe, obviously we serve the entire state of New Mexico, so we do provide local transportation, day transportation if they live within an hour away of the school. But students who are 6 years and older can come and stay at our cottages. We provide student life, of course, but the students go home during the weekends. And we partner with everyone. We have so many community partners. We love partnering with Rotary, as well as all of the community members here in Mexico.
Can I ask, how does the funding go? Are you funded like a normal public school in the state, or is it a separate?
No, we're not like, yes, that's a great question. Actually, it is different than most public schools. We're funded in the same way that the Military Institute, the New Mexico Military Institute is funded, as well as the New Mexico School for the Blind and Impaired. We're a constitutional school. All those are special schools here in New Mexico, so we get monies from land grants. We get 25% of the funding from the legislature, like in terms of appropriations. But we're more kind of like an independent state agency. And so they do allow us to serve the entire state for that one reason, and we're really grateful for that. Because when our Constitution was established in 1912, they made this decision to include us as a special school for the state.
So, I grew up outside of Rochester, New York, where Rochester Institute for the Deaf, and the feed into RIT, I saw one of the students with an RIT sweatshirt. New York State Regents has the money to put to these schools. You attended Gallaudet, the greater Northern Virginia, Washington, DC area, there's money. How do the resources in the state of New Mexico compare to, let's say, what you would have available to you maybe in the DC area, New York, Philadelphia, the East Coast?
Yeah. Two different things. So the university like RIT and Gallaudet, they're actually funded through federal
Yes.
funds. Yeah, so they receive federal funding. RIT is a public institute, well, it's a private university, and they serve, 16,000 students. The majority of them, I want to say, like the bachelor's
Yes.
students are here,
Yeah.
so they're trying to compete with MIT right now.
Yeah.
And the reason I know this is because my son goes to RIT.
Oh.
He's in the engineering program there at RIT. He just got home, was it last Sunday? So he's done with his first year, and I'm super happy to have my baby. So parents, I totally understand you would have liked to send your kid to college, and they're experiencing it now. But to answer your question, for state school funds, we are very fortunate to have the land grant here in New Mexico because we are actually better funded than most schools for the deaf across the country. I want to say we're in the top, maybe 15% of those. Yeah. And it's because we serve, and primary, the students that we serve are very, very poor. They are, many of our students are medically eligible. So we do have a foundation that supports our students with, for example, coats during the winter, shoes when they need them. Sometimes they don't have food, so they are allowed to bring food home over the weekends. So we're very fortunate that we can serve within that capacity. We have horse therapy for some of our students, we have scholarships, all of that. We're very proud and very fortunate to have that through the NSC Foundation. Thank you all so much for your interest in our school. I'm open to questions and welcome questions if there's.
How do you talk on the camera?
Like video chat, and now as common as video chat is, everyone uses like a Zoom or FaceTime, things like that. So we communicate that way. But if I'm say I'm talking with a hearing person that doesn't know sign, there are services. They have interpreting like federal funds that provide interpreting services, so that the person on the phone, it's kind of the same concept. I'm still on video, and I speak through an interpreter, similar to how I'm talking to you all now. Of course, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to be with you.
The Rotary Club helped me.
Well, we do have our foundation, of course, but I'm really interested in some of your programs. Some of our students, I think, would be wonderful to participate in your programs. I think they're really interested in service as well. We are a huge supporter of that model. We have currently some of our students have participated in a leadership training, and they're saying a lot of the same things that many of your students mentioned today, talking about leadership, volunteerism, stewardship. And so we're always looking for opportunities for them.
An interact club?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Exchange program, everything. 40 scholarships. 40. Distinguished students.
Have to send them to France. Yeah.
Yeah, they learn.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
I know some of the students have to balance, but anyone who finishes your water, if you can remember to leave the cap with Allison. For those that don't know, doing it in Santa Fe, hope to start it up here. The caps are the right type of plastic to grind down and upcycle into benches that can be put in parks and communities. So, there you go.